In the small village of Columba, nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, lived a young woman named Amina. She was known for her kind heart and beautiful smile, which could brighten even the darkest of days. Amina worked tirelessly in her family's modest farm, but she always found time to help others, be it tending to the sick or assisting elders with their daily chores. In the same village lived a man named Kofi, who was often regarded as the village madman. Kofi had once been a brilliant and ambitious young man, full of dreams and plans for the future. However, a series of tragic events, including the loss of his family in a mysterious fire, had shattered his mind. He now wandered the village, muttering to himself and scrawling symbols in the dirt that no one could understand. Children would sometimes tease him, and adults would shake their heads in pity or frustration. One rainy afternoon, as Amina was returning from the market, she saw Kofi sitting under a large baobab tree, soaked and shivering. Despite his reputation, Amina felt a surge of compassion. She approached him cautiously, offering her shawl to shield him from the rain. Kofi looked up, his eyes wild but softening at her kindness. He accepted the shawl, and for a moment there was a flicker of clarity in his eyes. Amina began to visit Kofi regularly, bringing him food and speaking to him gently. She would sit beside him, humming old lullabies and telling stories of hope and resilience. Gradually, Kofi started responding to her, first with nods and then with words, albeit disjointed and cryptic. The villagers watched with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism as Amina continued her efforts. One evening, as the sun set over the hills, casting a golden glow over the village, Kofi took Amina's hand and led her to a secluded spot near the river. There, he began to draw intricate patterns in the sand, explaining each one in fragmented sentences. Amina listened intently, piecing together his story. She realized that Kofi's drawings were maps and symbols from his past, memories he had locked away in his fractured mind. As days turned into weeks, a remarkable transformation occurred. Kofi's fragmented thoughts began to coalesce into coherent speech. He started sharing his dreams and fears with Amina, who encouraged him with unwavering patience and love. The village began to see Kofi in a new light, not as a madman, but as a person slowly reclaiming his lost self. One night, during the village's annual harvest festival, Kofi stood before the villagers, holding Amina's hand. He spoke clearly and confidently, thanking them for their support and recounting his journey from despair to hope. He expressed his deepest gratitude to Amina, whose love had been the beacon guiding him out of the darkness. Amina and Kofi's bond grew stronger, blossoming into a deep and abiding love. They married under the baobab tree where their journey had begun, with the entire village celebrating their union. Kofi, now a respected member of the community, used his knowledge and skills to help the village prosper. Their story became a legend in Columba, a testament to the transformative power of love and compassion. It was said that as long as the baobab tree stood tall, the love between Amina and Kofi would continue to inspire generations, reminding everyone that even in the darkest times, love can light the way. Years passed, and Amina and Kofi's love remained as steadfast as ever. They built a small but beautiful home on the edge of the village, close to the river where Kofi had first shared his memories. Together, they cultivated a thriving garden, where flowers of all colors bloomed year-round, a symbol of the beauty that could emerge from brokenness. Their home became a place of healing and hope. Villagers who were troubled or in need of guidance often visited Amina and Kofi. Amina's nurturing spirit and Kofi's wisdom, born from his own journey through madness, provided solace and solutions. They worked tirelessly to improve the lives of those around them, organizing community projects and educational programs that enriched the village. One day, a young woman named Nia arrived at their doorstep. She was carrying a small child and bore a haunted look in her eyes. Nia had fled from a neighboring village, escaping an abusive relationship. She had heard of Amina and Kofi's home as a sanctuary and sought their help. Amina welcomed her with open arms, offering her food, shelter, and most importantly, a safe space to heal. Kofi spent hours talking with Nia, sharing his own experiences of loss and recovery. His words, infused with empathy and understanding, resonated deeply with her. Slowly, Nia began to rebuild her life, finding strength in the support and love she received from Amina and Kofi. She learned new skills and eventually started a small business selling handmade crafts, becoming an independent and respected member of the village. As more people like Nia found their way to Amina and Kofi's home, it became known as the House of Hope. It was a place where the broken could find healing, where the lost could find direction, and where the weary could find rest. Amina and Kofi's love and compassion had created a ripple effect, transforming not just individuals but the entire community. One fateful year, a severe drought threatened Columba. The crops withered, and the river's water level dropped dangerously low. The villagers, who had always relied on the fertile land and abundant water, faced a dire situation. Fear and despair began to spread, but Amina and Kofi refused to let hopelessness take root. Drawing on their deep connection to the land and each other, they mobilized the village. Kofi, with his knowledge of the terrain and ancient water routes, devised a plan to dig a series of wells and irrigation channels. Amina coordinated the efforts, ensuring everyone had a role and that morale remained high. They worked tirelessly, day and night, driven by the belief that together they could overcome any obstacle. Their determination paid off. The wells reached underground water sources, and the irrigation channels brought life back to the fields. The crops began to grow again, and the village was saved from the brink of disaster. The success of this endeavor further solidified the respect and admiration the villagers had for Amina and Kofi. They were not just leaders, but symbols of resilience and unity. As they grew older, Amina and Kofi continued to share their wisdom and love. Mentoring the younger generation, they taught them the importance of compassion, community, and the unbreakable strength of a loving heart. Their story, once a personal journey of healing, had become a powerful legacy of hope and transformation for all of Columba. On a serene evening, under the shade of the ancient baobab tree, Amina and Kofi sat together, watching the sun set over the hills. They held hands, their hearts filled with gratitude for the life they had built and the love they had shared. Their eyes met, and in that silent moment, they knew that their journey, though filled with trials, had been a testament to the enduring power of love. Their story continued to be told in Columba, inspiring future generations to believe in the possibility of redemption and the transformative power of love. As long as the baobab tree stood tall, Amina and Kofi's love would remain an eternal beacon, guiding those who were lost back to the light. As time passed, Amina and Kofi became beloved elders of Columba, their wisdom sought by villagers from far and wide. The House of Hope evolved into a community center where people gathered to learn, share stories, and celebrate together. It was a place where the village's history was preserved and where its future was continually being forged. Amina and Kofi had no children of their own, but they became parental figures to many. They nurtured the dreams and aspirations of the youth, teaching them skills, values, and the importance of community. One young man named Jabari stood out among their many proteges. He was ambitious and intelligent, with a deep respect for Amina and Kofi. Under their guidance, he became a natural leader. One evening, as Amina and Kofi sat with Jabari under the baobab tree, they spoke of their hopes for the future. Kofi, now with a gentle but commanding presence, shared his vision of a village that could sustain itself through innovation and cooperation. Amina, with her nurturing wisdom, emphasized the importance of maintaining the bonds of love and support that had always defined Columba. Jabari listened intently, his eyes shining with determination. He promised to carry forward their legacy, ensuring that the values they had instilled in him would continue to guide the village. Over the years, Jabari worked tirelessly to implement sustainable farming techniques, educational programs, and community projects that enhanced the quality of life in Columba. Amina and Kofi watched with pride as their village flourished. The wells and irrigation channels Kofi had designed during the drought now formed part of a sophisticated water management system that ensured the village was never again threatened by scarcity. The community center became a hub of activity, offering classes in everything from literacy to craftsmanship, all inspired by Amina's unwavering commitment to education and empowerment. In their twilight years, Amina and Kofi found joy in the simple pleasures of life. They would take long walks along the river, tend to their garden, and spend quiet evenings under the stars, reminiscing about their journey. The villagers often joined them, eager to hear their stories and seek their counsel. Their love story, once a personal testament, had woven itself into the very fabric of Columba's identity. One day Amina fell ill. Despite her strength and the care of the villagers, it became clear that her time was drawing near. Kofi stayed by her side, holding her hand and whispering words of love and gratitude. The entire village gathered around their home, offering support and prayers, a testament to the profound impact Amina had had on their lives. In her final moments, Amina looked into Kofi's eyes, the same eyes that had once been clouded by madness but were now clear and filled with love. "We have lived a blessed life, my love," she whispered. "Thank you for believing in me, and for letting me believe in you." Kofi, with tears streaming down his face, replied, "You saved me, Amina. Your love brought me back to life. I will carry your spirit with me always." Amina passed away peacefully, surrounded by the love she had given so freely throughout her life. The village mourned deeply, but they also celebrated her legacy, knowing that she had left an indelible mark on their hearts and their community. Kofi, though heartbroken, found solace in the presence of the villagers and the memories he shared with Amina. He continued to live in their home, now a place of pilgrimage for those seeking inspiration and hope. He dedicated himself to preserving Amina's teachings and ensuring that her spirit of compassion and resilience remained alive in Columba. Years later, when Kofi too passed away, the village honored them both with a grand celebration of their lives. They planted a grove of trees around the baobab, symbolizing the enduring growth and strength that Amina and Kofi had nurtured in their village. The grove became a sacred place, where stories of their love and legacy were told and retold, inspiring generations to come. And so, the love story of Amina and Kofi continued to live on, a beacon of hope and a testament to the transformative power of love and compassion. The village of Columba thrived, united by the lessons of its beloved elders, and the spirit of the House of Hope remained a guiding light for all who sought to build a better world.